Delaram Jazarang Chabahar Road in Afghanistan. This was in news for some time. Delaram Jazarang Chabahar Road in Afghanistan and Iran. It was in news. That connects Nimrod state. Nimrod is a state in Afghanistan and it is considered as the part of bigger Balochistan. Nimrod state in Afghanistan, which is considered as part of Balochistan, that area, there is a Delaram place in Nimruz. From Delaram, that is north and south is Zazran in the same state of Afghanistan. So there, Afghanistan has there is a road, Delaram Zazarang Road, that India has constructed. And from Zazarang, there is another highway that connects Chabahar. I believe that was constructed by Iran only. Both are Baluchistan region. One is in Afghanistan and one is in Iran. Okay, we are talking about Chabahar seaport that was more or less constructed by India. What is the need of Chabahar port when there was a Bandar Abbas port already available in Iran 600 kilometers west of Chabahar port? There is a Bandar Abbas port. Seaport is already there. What is the need of Chabahar port? Why it was constructed? Okay, now there was a war between Iran and Iraq during 1979 to 1983 period. 1979 to 83 period. There was a war between Iran and Iraq. Anyway, prior to that only there used to be tension in Iraq and Iran always. And Iraq used to attack on the Iran. And at that time the Iran was ruled by Shah of Iran. Not to avoid now the if this is Iran, I'm sorry, how I can show? If this is Iran, then this is Pakistan, eastern side. And if this is Iran, then this is Iraq. Here, the Bandar Abbas port is there, and that is near to Iraq. Iraq used to Iraq used to attack on the Bandar Abbas port. If Bandar Abbas port is destroyed, then Iran will not get anything from the sea. That was the that was the issue at that time. Tension between Iraq and Iran. So the Shah of Iran, he proposed $600 million. Means Iran will not able to get anything in commercial fashion. That is one thing. Second thing, Iran was using Bandar Abbas port for the submarines for the navy purpose. For the navy purpose, the navy army. I'm sorry, the navy of Iran. It used to operate from the Bandar Abbas port, and it was kind of vulnerable attack from the Iraq. In that fashion, the Shah of Iran he spent $600 million in 1973 time frame only to and he hired and he give contract to American company. Iran and America were very close at that time, and he gave contract to the American companies at that time to make a new port that will be far from Iraq, and that is Chabahar port. Chabahar port is in Balochistan, Sistan province, and very near to Pakistan. What very near to Pakistan? It is in Pakistan only. It is very near. Chabahar port. So Shah of Iran, he had spent $600 million and giving contract to American company in 1973 time frame. I have a documentation to make another port so that its navy would operate and Iraq cannot attack on it. By 1983, I believe, 1983 or something, then there was a port, first phase of the port was ready. But anyway, by that time, the Shah of Iran had to flee the Iran. Iran condition changed. So Iran had started this construction work in early 1970s only to save the attack from the Iraq. To save the attack from the Iraq, Iran started Iran started the kind of building of Chabahar port. By 1980s, early 1980s, first phase of the Chabahar port was ready. But anyway, by 1979, when the Shah of the Iran he fled the country, then this work had slowed down, and finally The American company they also left. More or less by 1983 or early 1980, this Chabahar port was left as it is because it was an initiative from the Shah of the Iran. Okay, now in that fashion, the Chabahar port, which was being constructed by Shah of Iran to protect the navy operation of Iran from the Iraq, that port, Chabahar port, in first phase, it was ready with a $600 million by the American company. And when the Ayatollah Khomeini he came as a supreme leader, then the work also halted. Anyway, all of a sudden in 2003, India started showing interest in Chabahar port, saying that India would import items from Afghanistan and Central Asia. They called it North-South Corridor. North-South Corridor means North is Central Asia till Russia also and Afghanistan. They will import metal or any mineral or dry fruits from the Central Asia. It will come to Chabahar port and from Chabahar port it will come to Mumbai port in India. So that was the idea, and this idea floated in 2003 itself. Now by 2000, then in Manmohan Singh government by 2024, okay, more concrete thing work started happening, and then later India started pushing money into the Chabahar port. How much money India has pushed Chabahar into the Chabahar port, and what is the present situation of Chabahar port? So that we will discuss. I remember that in BRICS nation, India is there, Iran is there, and there Manmohan Singh has talked in Manmohan Singh government that India would purchase crude oil from Iran, and Iranian crude oil are of better quality, and Iranian crude oil of less price. Iranian crude oil is of better quality, and Iranian crude oil is of less price. The third thing is Iran was ready to accept money as rupee only. No need to give money in dollar. Give money in rupee only. That is also all right. Iran would settle it down. That much the preference Iran was giving to India. This is a story around 2010 or something like that. So India was very serious in making Chabahar port. I would rather say that India's focus on the Chabahar port was mainly importing oil from Iran, not the dry fruit or whatever from the Central Asia. Disguising United States because United States had put sanction on the Iran. Any country who is doing trade with Iran, then that country will be that the tariff on that country will be very high. This is sanction on a particular country. Now, in that fashion, the India by that time, so Donald Trump government came into the picture in 2017-2021 time frame. At that time, America was very serious on the Iranian issue. So, India, by that time, India had already spent tons of money in Chabahar port. The anticipation was that India would fetch oil from Iran, but it was giving an impression to the world that India is in discussion with Afghanistan and Uzbekistan for getting the metal and getting the dry fruit. But that was not the concept. This is what I personally think. This is not the government data. Government data, it was for the importing items from the Central Asia and Afghanistan. Why India would be so merciful on Afghanistan as far as trade is concerned? But that was the primary idea. But why it was not from Bandar Abbas port? Because if you use Bandar Abbas port, suddenly you will come under Iranian sanction. That's why Chabahar port was being developed. How much money was spent and those things that we will see in this discussion. Okay, so Chabahar port, I believe it would be around 400, 500 kilometer from the Gwadar port. From Karachi, I believe it would be around 700 to 800 kilometers. I think so. I have not seen. Chabahar port is 600 kilometers from the Bandar Abbas port. Chabahar port is eastern to Bandar Abbas port. It is around 900 kilometers from the Zazrang. That is the last point of Afghanistan, 900 kilometers south of the Jazirang. I believe Jazirang to Kabul would be around 600 to 700 kilometers. Means it is far away from the Kabul, around 1,500 kilometers, more than that, 2,000 kilometers. It would be from the Kabul. Chabahar port. Why someone will make 2000 kilometers away from the Kabul a port where Kabul and Delhi or Kabul and Amritsar would be hardly 400 to 500 kilometers. If India want anything from Afghanistan, it can pay some money to Pakistan and it can get items. This is how Afghanistan dry fruits are reaching India traditionally. In Afghanistan, dry fruit they reach India prior to Chabahar port only and after independence, when Pakistan has closed everything. It comes through the Pakistan only. Through the this taxes and that taxes, the item becomes highly costly in India. But Afghanistan dry fruit reaches India. Anyway, India has given impression to the world that we will import dry fruit and metal from Afghanistan to Chabahar port. Even though it is highly high distance, Chabahar port to Mumbai port, I believe it would be 1,500 kilometers or 2,000 kilometers. If I take shortest route, then it is Afghanistan through Chabahar port to Mumbai, it is around 3,000 kilometers. That is very, very far away. Anyway, now Chabahar port, if I see Chabahar port, then this port was proposed in 1973 by Shah of Iran. Okay, to make a naval base, navy base, and $600 million was to be spent, and contract was given to the American company. Okay, two terminals, Shahid Bahasti and Shahid Kalantari. Shahid Kalantari and Shahid Bahasti. These two terminals were developed in the first phase of the Chabahar port. And okay, so 1983, the first phase was over, and Iraq-Iran war was going on, or it was on the terminus only. Anyway, how much it was used, I don't know. So Shah of Iran fled the country, and this port was kept as it is. Now in 2003 time frame, India showed interest in the Chabahar port. 2013, in Manmohan Singh government only, India spent $100 million in development of the terminal, that is Shahid Behesti. Shahid Behesti is a terminal there. $100 million India spent in 2013 only. By now, India has spent 120 million, 20 million it added later, $120 million in development of Shahid Behesti terminal. Okay, it is called that Kulbhushan Jadhav, he was captured by Pakistanian in the in development of Chabahar port only. Very notorious and very infamous capturing of the Kulbhushan Jadhav from the this port man post develop this port development. Anyway, that is then this is 120 million dollars that India has given to the India has spent in the development of the port. It has given another $250 million Iran on the credit line. Credit line in the sense Iran can spend on the port up to $200 million. Okay, later that will be means on credit line means India has given money or India will give money whatever Iran spends up to $250 million. Later that will be settled down. Means India has spent for $370 million in the Chabahar port. Okay, not only that. Anyway, in 2016, Narendra Modi government, new government, there is a trilateral agreement happened between India, Afghanistan, and Iran in 2016. And in 2016, in 2018, 2016 trilateral agreement happened between Afghanistan, Iran, and India to use the Chabahar port, mainly between India and Afghanistan, to use the port for the trade. Okay, that happened in 2016. 2018, okay, 2018, the American government, it it did not put Chabahar port under the sanction of Iran. It gave a reprise. there was no ban on the Chabahar port, even though there is a trade ban between Iran, considering that India will do the communication with the Afghanistan only, and this is for good purpose only. Now, in 2018, January 2000, in 2018, the Donald Trump government, he lifted any ban on Chabahar port if there was any, so that India and Afghanistan would do the trade for the benefit of Afghanistan. And at that time, Afghanistan had Ashraf Ghani government, American supported government. In 2018 itself, okay, 2018 itself, India signed an agreement with Iran $2 billion to make a railway line from Chabahar to Jahedran. Chabahar to make a railway line, railway sector, $2 billion, and that was Chabahar to Jahedran. I believe that is the name Jahedran. Jahedran is a railway station that is along the Pakistan border that connects Quetta, Taftan, Jahedran. There is a railway line that was built by Britishers, Quetta Jahedran railway line that connects Quetta and it exits Pakistan at the last station Taftan in Pakistan. Then immediately it goes to the Iran as Jahedran. Then India spent $2 billion in signed agreement with Iran to support Iran making the railway line from the Chabahar port to Zahedan, so that it will be connected to the Iranian railway. And in that railway line, Chabahar to Zahedan, that railway line is 650 kilometer long. So that much, $2 billion and $350 million. Two billion, 2.35 billion dollars spent by Indian government there. This is the condition of Chabahar port, 650 kilometer railway line from Chabahar to Zahedan. Zahedan is the last railway terminal as far as Pakistan is concerned, and Bam is the last railway station as far as from Tehran, Iran is concerned. Later, Iran made a railway line connecting Bam and Zahedan. So, more or less, now India is connected to Iran as far as railway link is concerned, and India is connected to Chabahar port also as far as railway link is concerned. I don't know why India spent money in the railway line when the idea was to bring the goods from the Afghanistan through sea. Anyway, in 2018, India started the trade with Afghanistan, and India sent a wheat grain to the Afghanistan through Chabahar port. In 2019, in reply, Afghanistan sent 57 ton of dry fruits through the Chabahar port, and it came to the Mumbai port. That's it. Okay, only two communication happened with Afghanistan. India sent wheat through Chabahar port, and Afghanistan sent dry fruit through Chabahar port. After that, when Taliban came into the picture in 2001, I believe, after that Afghanistan fell into problem or drought kind of situation. India supported Afghanistan with trucks and trucks of wheat through Pakistan. Wheat entered from the Amritsar to Pakistan and it went till the Jalalabad and Kabul. I don't know why they made this port $2.37 billion they spent. Only two communication has happened as far as trade is concerned. See the how India spoils its money. And now in 2025, new Donald Trump government, okay, February 2024, Taliban government had announced $35 million in investment in Chabahar port in 2024, because Chabahar port is important to Afghanistan as far as port is concerned. Afghanistan is a landlocked country, so Afghanistan started taking Chabahar port as its port of Afghanistan, so that it can import anything into Afghanistan through sea route. Means it benefited Afghanistan. Anyway, the Taliban government in 2024 it announced $35 million investment in Chabahar port. Okay, February 2025, the 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 the, the lifting of the ban on the Chabahar port as far as sanction on Iran is concerned, that waiver was cancelled by the Donald Trump government. Donald Trump government now it understood that Chabahar port will be used either to import oil from the Iran or it will be used import item from Afghanistan, and Iran and Afghanistan both are banned country from United States. Both are sanctioned country now post Taliban era. So Chabahar port is banned now. This is the story of Chabahar Port. Now, anyone should reply here that why Chabahar Port India showed interest in the Shahid Bahasti terminal and the railway link from Chabahar Port to the when Jahidan when the idea was to communicate through the sea only. Then why railway link was made? And then I believe in 2022, India exported tons of wheat to Afghanistan to support Afghanistan that people would not die of hunger. And all wheat entered through Amritsar only. Amritsar, it took the road route and it went to Afghanistan. Pakistan also sent wheat through that route only. India is a country where half of the people they live with one time food only. That's it. Half of the people. People are living in hunger. Hunger index India is top. Now in that fashion, $1 is 87 rupees. In that fashion, what is the meaning of spending this much money on Chabahar Park? People would reply that at the end, India's main aim is to import crude oil from the Iran. Then why you are not importing? Whom you are fearing from? From United States? What United States is giving to India? Nothing. Only some companies are there where Indian people are working. So that is something that is $2.37 billion money went in sea. Anyway, China is using Gwadar port to import oil from Iran, and Iran is selling its complete oil to China only because of the even though it is less priced or whatever. If India imports oil from Iran at lesser price, higher quality, India's companies will show higher productivity at less price. But there is no company in India which export anything. Means everywhere, India is a country which is shattered everywhere. Everywhere. Whatever it is doing, it is going as a futile effort only. Anyway, we will see if India in future it would muster some courage and go up with the industrialization of this country as agriculture is also part of industry only, and then it will reactivate the Chabahar port and it will make relationship with the or it would renovate its relationship rejuvenate its relationship with the Iran again.